Okay, welcome back again to Air Job Boss. I am the Air Job Boss, and today we're going to go over another excerpt from the Flight Crew Job Search Handbook and go over this item. Today's item is creating airline profiles. Now, in your job search, I highly recommend that you keep a written profile of each airline that you are targeting to become a member of someday. And you can start this as soon as possible in your job search because there's going to be knowledge in there that you probably should know during your interview and you might actually be asked about. So uh, go online, talk to your network, and start creating an airline profile. And you need to somehow create an airline profile in your written or computer records so that you can go back and reference this, especially right before your interview with this airline. So here's some of the components you probably need. Where their corporate office is located, where their training is conducted, a brief history of the airline. This is obviously can be found in Wikipedia. It can be found in their website in the About section of the specific airline, or in other references that track airlines' histories. It's not as important, but you can know the corporate officers, the CEO, the president. Um, those things are kind of used to be important, are becoming less important, but the chief pilot is probably a good person to know. Who is in charge of the flight operations, whatever title they're keeping, whether it's the chief pilot or the vice president of flight operations. It's important to understand a little bit about these personalities because these personalities are driving the safety policies and the flight department's mission statement at that airline. So it's not a bad idea to know at least who this person was, how long they've worked for the airline, and what their general past history is, okay? Also, naturally, in your profile, you want to make sure you have all the bases that they have crew bases for, because you will be asked, why do you want to work here? And one of the good answers is because you're based in a place that I would like to live in. You have many bases that I would like to live in. Be careful with the answer. Follow me for answers to that specific question on how to answer that. Again, how about all the aircraft they operate and the future aircraft they may or may not operate? Phasing in, phasing out, retiring of aircraft especially. Know the union affiliation and write it down on your company profile. It's not as important to the corporate agents that are interviewing you if you know about the union, but it is important that you understand all the aspects of the job you're going to work for. And so it's important that you understand the union, a little bit about them, who they represent, meaning other airlines, how long they've been in business, their representation, and so forth. Another thing you need to write down on your airline profile is the company's corporate mission statement, a brief synopsis of their mission statement. Secondly, write down their operational safety policy found in their flight operations manual. This is the mission statement of the flight department. Write a brief summary down. When you are sitting waiting for your interview, I would recommend you read these two things over and over again so they are fresh in your mind so you can reference them during your interview should it come up. You want to also know the total number of pilots that are there and the future amount of hiring that's possible, the future amount of retirements. Get that generally in your mind so you may be asked about that, why you want to work here. Well, I know you guys are expecting a lot of retirements and I'm anxious to become a captain and I know more retirements means a quicker upgrade, blah, 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 this type of thing. So know that information and write it down. Total amount of aircraft. Important to know the total amount of aircraft, whether they're expanding. Pay scale. It's generally important to know the general pay scale. Professional airline pilots utilize their skills, their experience, and their talents to further the goals and mission statements of the company in order to receive just compensation. We all do this for a living. It's very important that we go to work and receive compensation. This is how we secure family and home, yes? Food, clothing, shelter. you should know what you're going to get paid. And you might be asked, what do you expect, compensation, or how do you feel about, our pay scale here? Because some airlines might sell camaraderie over pay or mission over pay. So you need to know how they value pilots' compensation. Some airlines want to be the highest compensated airline so they can attract the highest quality pilot. And it's important that you know this concept that they operate in. So write down general pay scales and be aware of that. Estimated time to upgrade. You can find this through your network. Write it down. You'll need to know about what time you're going to be expected to upgrade and what your preparation time base is going to be for that. Also, do a little summary for yourself, the pros and cons of the airline based on your self-assessment on where you want to work. For example, pros: stable company, high pay, a variety of benefits, wide variety of aircraft. Cons: no Dallas or Chicago based, may have to commute to work. Okay, this is for you, and also for you to get an idea of what, in case you were asked something like, what don't you like about our airline, which would be an awkward thing to answer, yeah? You at least have an intelligible way to answer that, and of course, keep watching my videos for a specific answer to this question. Also, list your network contacts on your airline profile, because you'll want to be familiar with this right before you go in, because they're going to say, why do you want to work here? And you're going to say, well, I know it's a great place to work. Well, how do you know that? Well, I know Captain Kim North. She's based out of Miami. I know Captain Jim South. He's based in Denver. I communicate with FO Dana East and your station manager, Shelly West, in Los Angeles, and I've gotten to know your company through these people, right? So you'll want to throw those names out, especially if they're important. Initial application filed. Write that down on your company profile so you know exactly when you first applied to them, in case they ask about this, or you can reference this. I have been wanting to work here since I was a private pilot. I knew I wasn't qualified, but I wanted my name to be familiar with your hiring department, so I've been updating my application since 1904. Yeah, know at least that. For your own reference, keep the last update of your application, and also at the very least thing you want to know, the last thing, is current news. So you've got to keep this updated, yeah? Current news, for example, your airline is merging with this other airline, or your airline has received Airline of the Year. Not likely for a U.S. airline, but nevertheless. Okay, you get the idea. I'm sorry this video was long, but it's a very big topic, because this is going to be the basis of your corporate knowledge of the target company, and it's vital to them that you know as much about their company as possible, because they want you to come there, not be surprised, and have already made the intelligent decision to dedicate the rest of your professional career to that airline. Thank you so much. That's it this time. I am the Air Job Boss. You can click the link below to see how we can assist you in preparing for your next airline interview. Till next time, good